Getting in shape has transformed my life on many levels, and in this video I'm going to explain to you how it did, why it did, and why you should get in shape, and why you need to do it now. So I'm going to break down everything, and I just want to first preface this by getting out the simple message that most people have probably said a bunch of times, which is the fact that you just look better and you feel better. And if that's enough reason for you to do it, which I know many people it's probably not, then you should commit to it and you should follow through on it. But I'm going to break down why it's challenging, why it actually is transformative, not just to the physical attraction level, and why you need to do it now. So first things first. When you are in the process of developing yourself and developing, your aesthetic, your body, the most important thing that I want everyone, to take away from this is you are basically trying to unlock your potential. Your potential, not someone else's potential. It's yours. It's your body, not someone else's. So you should not expect you should not expect to have someone else's body while you go through your journey. That's just not how it works. So you should first of all stop comparing yourself all the time to how other people look, because that's not who you are. And it's very, it's a simple message, a simple truth, but it's very hard to actually internalize and accept that you are not going to look like someone else. You could strive for that, but you shouldn't expect to look like someone else. So that's the first thing. The second thing I want to talk about, which is really my whole entire reasoning why I think everyone should get in shape, no matter who you are, no matter what you do. It's the mental resiliency and capability that you develop within the process of actually getting in shape. And it takes a lot of hard work, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of discipline, and it takes just a general sense of personal integrity. Because what people don't really understand is a lot of times the work you put in the gym has to be matched. It has to be matched by what you do, on the other side, outside of the gym. So that is how you're taking care of your body. That is what you are actually consuming. That is the foods you eat. That's how you're actually going to see yourself just in a better, unlock a greater potential that you inherently have. Everyone has this potential. And so going to the gym is just a consistent way to take action steps. And that is a key term that has really changed the way I now live and try to live. So this whole idea of taking action, right? I used to be a huge overthinker with everything. And you have to start somewhere. So there's this concept. It's called the abstract vacuum or something. It's like thinking in a vacuum, where you try to think of everything that is going to happen, or you try to predict everything. But in reality, you need to just go for it. Example is, say you're young. Remember when you were younger and you wanted to go in the pool? I don't really know how to swim now, so this is applicable to me even when I'm, now I'm older. But it's the same thing. It's this idea that, you want to dive in, but you're scared. And when you're scared, you make up all these scenarios that are running through your mind about every outcome that can possibly happen. And then you literally are paralyzed. You can't do anything. So you need to get over that hump, that you can't just think through your way in life. That is like the biggest misconception that I had when I was younger, that I could just think my way through life. No, you have to actually act. You have to embody and you have to act your way through life. You have to take action. Super important. Super important. And so what going to the gym consistently taught me, and what it allowed me to actually increase my skill in this action-taking muscle. And you can apply this to every single domain in your life. That's what is the golden nugget in this video, if you will call it. You will apply all these different, skills to each and every domain in your life that you learn from getting in shape. Because I think, discipline is a skill. Hard work is a skill. Consistency is a skill. These are all skills that you can work on. And so you're simultaneously looking better, feeling better, and you're developing skills that you can transfer to other things in your life. So my whole personal philosophy on getting in shape is really just, it should be the baseline. It should be the foundation that you lay the rest of your life on top of. That the rest of your life lays on top of. This is the foundation, just getting in shape. This is the body, this is the foundation. And everything else is supposed to be built on top of that. So I don't see, going to the gym or getting fit as my life. Because obviously that should not just be my life. And I would not be happy with that because I have other goals and other pursuits and other missions. But even if it is your sole, purpose and mission in life, that's good. That's fine. That's good for you, but for me, it's not. So I just wanted to get that out of the way because I think in recent trends, there's this idea that, going to the gym is like, your life is revolved around that. And I want to change that narrative because it shouldn't be. It should be the foundation. You see the difference? One is, here's the gym. Your life revolves around it. One is, this is the gym. This is getting fit, this is getting in shape, and the rest of your life is building. You're building like a castle, you're building like a church, you're building something on top of that foundation. So that's the key thing. And when I was, getting in shape seriously, so a year or two ago, I couldn't do one pull-up. I'm 175 pounds. I was getting assisted, I think like 80 pounds, 100 pounds on a pull-up. And I was weak. I was weak and I didn't have the strength within myself. But then, here's the key thing. It's the progress that I made. It was the process. It didn't matter where I started. I could have started, with even worse off, but seeing the difference and seeing how much you can grow, that is inherently gratifying. That itself, that long-term satisfaction and gratification is actually what is very important. And that's a lesson that I learned by getting in shape. And it totally, change my monkey mindset of short-term gratification. Everything used to be, I want to just get short-term pleasure, short-term gratification. But once I took, the gym seriously, I realized this is applicable to all domains of my life. And another example I want to bring in is, so I'm a student right now. This has been hugely beneficial as a student because it's the same kind of mindset that you're pushing yourself. You're progressively overloading yourself, your capabilities, because when you are not training, when you're resting, you're getting stronger. The muscles are tearing down and they're repairing. And in that repairing process, you are getting stronger. Same thing. It's the same thing with learning. It's the same thing with learning, but it's all it's like your mental, it's your mind. It's the muscle in your mind that is, okay, I'm going to study. But when you study, it should be difficult. You shouldn't understand what you're studying. you should be struggling when you're studying, and you should say to yourself, okay, let me just get through this. So for me, it's like you do the Pomodoro technique, 45 minutes. Okay, I have 45 minutes to get through it. It's just like a workout. But then I rest. And I don't do anything that is related to the subject. I don't do anything. And then the interesting thing is your mind will automatically in the background. This is where it's cool, because you're not actually, it's like your mind will be running and processing things and interpreting things and making connections while you are doing something else. So that's why, while you're sleeping, you'll be learning, and you're repairing those muscles that you actively worked on while you were awake. So that's just, a very corollary example that I wanted to point out, because it's not just getting in shape. It's not just the physical. It's not just the physical attraction that you can gain. It's also the mental capacity to endure just challenge, to endure, pain. And it's a completely different mentality you have once you develop this muscle. And another thing is just the ability to rise above how you feel in the moment to actually take the action. So earlier I gave an example of rising above the feeling of fear, the idea of fear. And it's very similar. You could take that in the gym. You could take that, when you want to start something, when you want to start a YouTube channel, when you want to write a book, if you want to start a blog, if you want to start a business, if you want to make art, there's so many different domains you could apply this in. And another feeling is just you don't want to do it. So I'll give you like a personal example with going to the gym. So I try to go at least 5 times a week. And I will be honest, out of those 5 times a week, only once do I actually want to go. So do the math, what does that give you? That means 4 out of 5 times I don't want to go. That's 80% of the time. 80% of the time I don't want to go. And I still make it a non-negotiable for me to, okay, no matter, I don't care. Like this is what goes on in my head. I'm like, okay, I don't care how you're feeling right now. You're going to get this done because you're going to feel better afterwards. That's what I think. You're going to feel better afterwards. You're not going to enjoy it in the moment. But here's another tip, huge tip. When you can't get yourself to go, or you're fighting this internal monologue, this internal battle, make the action step smaller. Say to yourself, okay, look, I'm going to change my clothes. I'm going to change my clothes. You're like kind of being playful with it too. It's like, oh, I'm just going to change my clothes. Like you're not really thinking, okay, I still have to go to the gym. So you're making that little victory, it's a small victory, but dude, it's momentum, and it'll increase the swing of your momentum. It'll increase your chances. So you're just telling yourself, you know what? Okay, I don't really want to go. Like, I'm tired. There's a lot of things I could do right now. There's a lot of other commitments. Maybe you're feeling, just a whole bunch of negative emotions. You're tired. You're late. You don't feel like doing it. This is me a lot of the times. I could be doing something else. Okay, I'm just gonna change my clothes. Once I do that, I'm like, you know what? I already changed my clothes. Might as well just go, get myself in the gym. Once I tell myself that, it's like a switch just happens, and it's just like my mind turns off. I'm like, okay, let's just go to the gym. Let's just go to the gym. Let's just get inside. Just get inside, or whatever you need to do. If there's no car. I don't know anyone that owns a car in New York, but if you're, somewhere else, you're just like, I'm just gonna get in the car. I'm gonna start the car. I'm gonna listen to one song, and then I'm just gonna start driving. Like, you're just like, you're not really thinking about everything you have to do in the gym, but you're thinking about, okay, let me just check this little next action step off. Let me just check it off. So you check it off, and you check this one off, Next thing you know, you're in the gym, you're working out. That's literally what happens 80% of the time. Because only 1 out of 5 times, I'm like pumped to go, I'm excited. So that's why, just that principle, I think, is so applicable to every single domain in your life. Same thing with studying. So here, I'll give you some other examples. Maybe you're not sold on this yet. I study economics and data science. These very important things, I think, to understand. So from we'll talk about the data science side. This is kind of taking a step back from what I'm saying to earlier in the video. And this is about, in data science, there's a whole lot about bias. You're dealing with biased experiments, biased data. But what I want to talk about is perception bias. All of us have this. If you're watching this right now, guess what? I know you're a human. Cool. That's great, because I'm human too. So I know that you're a human, and I know you struggle with perception bias, or you fall prey to it. There's so many things that run in our minds, and I'd love to talk about all this, the psychology of just cognitive biases. So we have a perception bias. So when you see someone, and here's another example. So great book, Influence, Learn the Art of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. I'm probably butchering his name, but he talks about this idea of the halo effect. The halo effect is basically, it's what pretty privilege is. And it's basically when you are attractive, or you have attractive qualities on you, which I think, if you're in shape, that makes you attractive in terms of maximizing your own potential. And so people see you and automatically associate better traits, and they will perceive you as more likable. They will perceive you with traits that come with actually getting in shape. So what are some of those traits? Again, and I said in the beginning of the video, hard work, consistency, discipline. These are all things that really matter, right? How can I trust, or how am I going to build trust with you if I see that you can't really take care of yourself? How am I going to trust someone? Someone else could look at me. How am I going to trust this kid if he can't even take care of himself, his own body? How am I going to trust him with managing a lot of money? How am I going to trust him with my business? How am I going to trust him? It's a lot of these things, and it's subtle, and we don't really think about it, but we make those judgments. Everyone makes those judgments. Unfortunately, there's no way to really get around it. You could, but that's just the bias that is ingrained within our human brain. So that's the data science. The economics, this is why I'm bringing in economics, to tell you, you need to do it now. So not big concept, fundamental concept in economics is opportunity cost. That is basically related to this idea that time is a scarce resource for every single person. Because you know what? We're only here on this planet Earth, and we're going to be gone before you know it. So we're trying to maximize our time here. And there's always, a cost to doing something. And when you get older and you provide more value to society, so right now I don't provide value to society yet. I'm going to, because I'm learning how the world works, and I'm learning how I can provide the most value. So my opportunity cost for doing things is just lower. So what is that? That gives me more just benefit to getting in shape now rather than later. Because later on, if I have, I know I'm going to have more responsibilities and more things I need to take care of, my opportunity cost will just be higher, and I'm still going to be in shape, but I will have built the momentum, and I will have built the habits and systems that will allow me to continue on the path I'm on, because it's automatic, it's second nature, right? I don't really think about it anymore. I mean, I think about, going to the gym, I think about just doing those little tasks. But then when I'm there, it's autopilot, it's automatic, it's second nature. I'm kind of just unconscious doing it. So those are the two reasons. And I'll bring in another reason: philosophy. So Hegel says that the aesthetic is, the absolute from God. And I think just shaping, sculpting your body is a process that is inherently rewarding. Inherently. Not because you get validation from other people, but because you understand the hard work that it took to get you to where you're at now, and you can reflect on the progress and the journey that you took. That is rewarding in and of itself, not the validation you'll get, because if you look here, let me just tell you, people will notice. People will notice, so don't worry about that. Don't do it for the wrong reasons. I mean, you could do it to start, but you should evolve out of that. And another last thing, Seneca, Letters from a Stoic, he writes, when you're young, you have all this energy, life's finest days fly by in the youth. And so even if you're not young or whatever stage of life you're in, I urge you, and I hope this video inspires you to take action, to really, if none of those reasons convinced you and persuaded you, just do it for yourself. Do it for yourself, because you're going to be in this vehicle. Look, my soul is inhabiting this vehicle throughout my time on Earth, on this planet Earth, in life. So just take care of your vehicle. This is my vehicle. I'm going to treat it like a temple. I'm not going to, make compromises. And it's, again, leads back to personal integrity. So this is a longer video. I wanted to articulate my thoughts on getting in shape, how it has transformed my life in many domains, many aspects. And I hope this resonated. I really do hope it resonated. And it's just such a it's such a high ROI. It's such a high return on your investment, because it's tiny little actions. It's like an hour, 5 hours out of your week, and you do it consistently, and it'll compound because you're doing it little tiny steps. It'll compound. So yeah, that's maybe an economic principle. Compounding effect. This is a compounding effect throughout all domains in your life. So I appreciate you for watching. I don't want to take any more of your time. This is a longer video, but glad I could share. Let me know. Share with a friend that needs to hear this, or anyone. I appreciate you. And as always, stay present, stay positive, and stay real. Thank you.